It's getting close.
Well, there you are. Welcome to my garden. It's Friday, and you know what we do at my house on Fridays? We plant. Now, if you want to have a successful fall garden, you got to get out in it. It's cooled off to a whopping 100 degrees right now. To be successful, do this. You have to sow to grow. So come on, let's plant. For August planting, it goes well in the central U.S. to the Midwest, New England to the Mid-Atlantic regions, north-central U.S. Rocky Mountains, and the Pacific Northwest. Arugula is a leafy green with unique peppery flavor, and some people really love it, some people don't like it. Beets are fast-growing root vegetables that grow almost anywhere. Surprisingly, the roots and the leaves are edible. And I can tell you, you boil down those beets, you make a syrup, it's sweet as candy. Broccoli is a vegetable you can harvest twice in a single season because the plant grows quickly and can be planted quite easily. The part we really eat is the broccoli flower, and it's important to harvest broccoli early to avoid the possibility of the flower opening and it becoming kind of bitter. Cabbage is another great vegetable that you can plant in the early season and then continue to plant throughout the summer for ongoing harvests. Carrots are another favorite in the garden and grow well early, but grow well throughout the summer. And in August you can go ahead and plant them. It's a little tricky. You want to make sure the seeds stay moist until they germinate. Cauliflower. That's one you want to start in a container, and then we'll transplant it out. They can be a little tricky to grow, but once you're successful, they taste wonderful. Broccoli, cauliflower, and carrots all take the cold weather very well. Cilantro is another one that you want to plant in August. You want to continue to plant cilantro all summer long. In the heat, it tends to bolt. That's one of the reasons you want to continue to plant cilantro. Corn is another one you can plant in August, as long as you have about 100 days before your frost. Collard greens go great in your August garden, and they'll take the first couple light frosts without any protection. Cucumbers are another wonderful fruit that you want to succession plant all summer long. As some plants begin to die back, you want to have the next generation in line. Kale is another vegetable that grows really well throughout the year, and if you plant it in August, you'll be able to harvest well into the frost. And once kale gets frosted a little bit, it gets sweeter. Leeks are also frost tolerant, and they do well from transplants. And then our lettuces. In my garden, we grow lettuces all year round. And something that likes to grow in the heat, but takes the cold really well, is mosh or corn salad. Even though it's hot and peas don't like the heat much, they do germinate and start growing pretty fast in the warm weather, but then take the cool weather really well. Turnips are another root vegetable that you can eat the leaves and the root, and they do really well in the cool weather. And Swiss chard is another leafy green that does very well in the cold weather and comes up really well in the warm weather. So August is a great time to get your Swiss chard in. As you've seen, we've already got 2 or 3 rounds of summer squash in. One of the benefits of planting in August is the bug pressure is a lot less. We are going to plant spinach in August, but we do want it to cool off a little bit. It really doesn't like the heat much, and it will bolt immediately if it's too warm. But as it cools off, it becomes sweet and it's a wonderful leafy green. Now we have corn in, we've got carrots in, we've got summer squash in, we've got peas in, we've got beets in, we've got kale in, we've got beans in. We've got a little Swiss chard coming up, but we're going to plant more of that. We've got turnips in. I think we're going to try these radishes in the next couple days. But looking around, I don't have a whole lot of room to plant it right now. I do have a little area where we got round 2 of the cucumbers coming up. Come on, let's plant. Now right here underneath this trellis, we got a little bit of room, so let's go ahead and get a couple more cucumbers in. Now I think it officially got to 104 degrees in northeastern Oklahoma today. There's quite a few things in the garden that are taking a little beating, but if you can see, I just pulled that mulch back, and there's still moisture in this soil. I want to make sure we definitely have a couple more cucumbers this year. You just go ahead and you lightly cover your seeds, and you put just a little bit of mulch back over, just like always. I still have a little bit of room to plant. We'll be back out here tomorrow. I hope you join me for that. And you gotta love a volunteer amaranth. It's just now starting to go to flower. I'm simply amazed at how big this thing is. I'm gonna need a chainsaw when we go to harvest. We looked at this corn just 2 days ago. Now that's one thing that's thriving in this heat. And I'm just tickled at how well the tomatoes are doing. I got to come out here and pick again tonight. Where some things might be dying back, we got some heat-loving plants out here. This okra is one of them. And these never make it into the house. That's why we do it, because this stuff tastes great. You can do this too. Well, shared part of that with a bug. Clip that off. Think I deserve a treat. Fresh corn right off the stalk. Unless you've ever grown your own corn, you have no idea what you're missing. If you've got 100 days before your first frost, I recommend putting a little bit of corn in the ground. Now it is brutally hot, so I'm going to head to the house. But sharing with the critters reminds me of something. The background noise, I can't do anything about that. That's what it's like in my garden. We've got bugs everywhere. And with that many bugs and this many plants, we're still doing pretty darn good. If you want me to get better equipment, go ahead and hit that join button. You wouldn't hurt my feelings. Now, out of this entire list, I'm sure you can find something that you like to eat. And if you've never gardened before, you still have time to get a crop in. And I suggest you get a container, put a little soil in it, put one of these seeds in, a little water. You're going to be amazed at what happens as you see this stuff grow. It is brutally hot out here. But unless you get out here, unless you sow, you can't grow. And if you're going to have a successful fall garden, you're going to have to get out in the heat and plant a few seeds. And until next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant.
Let's go plant garden.